It's time for the most famous start to the Indy 500. It's time to decide who's going to line up on the pole position. Hello everybody, welcome to qualifying and the Fast 12. We are simulcasting with the USRN team, and we are about to hear from them shortly as well. Now, let's go over and open up the battle screen as well, because out there on the track is Takuma Sato as well. He's the first car out there in this Fast 12 session as well. And now, I don't know why half the field seem to be repeating themselves, but it's the Fast 12, followed then by the Fast 6 as well. I'd like to say thank you also for 400 subscribers here on YouTube. Now, Seth Evans as well as Matt White and Matthew Owens will be with me in the commentary box shortly as well. And we are simulcasting right now. I can hear him in my ears. He can hear me in his ears as well, as Matthew Owens will also be commentating. But this is the opening lap then. It's a warm-up lap at the moment for that of Takuma Sato, as you can see. Now, if we press button number 7, we'll open up the battle camera that you'll be seeing throughout most of the day as well. This shows us the screen as well with the fastest lap average. Green flag is out then for Takuma Sato as well. He is taking the flag down towards turn number 1. First corner average speed, we're being told, 238.259 as well. Through turn 2 and 3 will be next as well. How quick is Sato going to be in this factor as he heads down the back straightaway into turn number 3 as well? It's a low part of the bank is where he carries so much speed from there as well. Tight on the inside line, looks fast as well. Sato's turn 3 speed, 234.907. So a two-time winner of Takuma Sato is going faster as well. Across the line comes Sato as well. His first lap, 232.165 miles an hour. So he's the first time on the board. Now, it's a 4-lap average as well. So that is his benchmark, 232.165. It's going to get slower as the laps go on. We'll explain to you if you're just joining us for the first time as it goes. Hello as well to Syntho as well. Hello to Josh Plays as well. Josh T and then hello to everyone joining us. US Arena are just doing their intro now. We're hearing them in my ears. So Sato's first lap's going out there as well. Lap 2 average for Takuma Sato across the line. Is it quick? Let's see what it is. Cross the line. Sato does a 231.746. So that's Sato's speed lap as well. Now, round the outside of the corner as well. Turn 3 looking quite good. Now, Sato at the moment, you can see, over 232 miles an hour. So massive speed, massive pace. We're going to be joining the rest of the team later up. Round the outside for turn 3. Speed is 234.705. So he's gained 2 miles an hour. Can he gain those straight down the start finish straight as well? 233, 234, 235 on the telemetry as well as he crosses the line. 231.746 the second lap. Lap 3, 231.450. Sato is still up there as well. So Sato is keeping that average. At the moment, it is 231.787 miles an hour. So Sato is looking fast. Into turn 4, down the back straightaway as well. Is it quick? That's the question. Sweeping round turn 3. High side of the park. Turn 3, 235.313. Can he get those down the start finish straight? Is it? Yes, the checkered flag is out. Takuma Sato, first time on the board. It's lap 4, 231.321. Average speed then for Sato is 231.670. Looks fantastic then. Sato the benchmarker. And of course it goes from the slowest to the fastest. So Sato was 12th overall in yesterday's running. He'll go top dog at the moment. Next up is Will Power as well as we go to the battle screen. And we'll say hello to USRN and fade it in. Speaking right now, it's Matt White.
3 and 4 and got in Marco's way, and INDYCAR officials decided to strip him of his time. He had to go back out again at the end of our 33 run. Luckily, he was only one of the few that did, but he got out and made that run and, as Matt said, hit the wall on the way round, but somehow managed to scupper his way into the top 12.
231.4 was lap 3. 231.7 was the time that he put in yesterday to get into the top 12. Here's the checkered flag for Takuma Sato, 231.321 miles an hour, the lap 4 speed. 4-lap average of 231.670, and Takuma Sato has qualified for the Indianapolis 500. As we bring you to the booth here and bring everyone with us here for this second day of time trials, Seth, Josh, Matt,
hello.
Great to be back with you guys. And Josh, we were here yesterday, and what do we expect to see today with these cooler temperatures?
First of all, no rain, which is great to see. Hello, everybody. We're now on 2 different channels, by the way. We're now on YouTube and we're on USON's coverage. So hello, everybody, for USON's point of view. Sato's first lap time. That's a strong one as well, 231.670. So that's immediately put a bit of worry up there. But Will Power is looking strong. Right now, I can see he's doing 237 miles an hour around turn 3 as well. He's trying to average it down the start-finish rate, but it's looking quick, Matt. And hopefully, Matthew and Matt, we've got 2 now, haven't we? So, Matthew... we were here yesterday, had to fill for the rain delay. Today, though, 2 hours of coverage, fast 12, onto the fast 6. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and Will Power is out on the racetrack. As Josh mentioned, 2018 winner of this race. And while he is on his warm-up lap, Matt and Seth, stay close with me, stay on your toes as Power makes his way down the back straightaway. This multicolored number 12 for Team Penske. Approaching turn 3 is Will Power. Turns into the corner, hits the apex well. 2 left side tires underneath the white line. Now into the short chute and into turn 4 comes Will Power. Car number 12 from Toowoomba, Australia, driving for, of course, the captain. Here you go, Seth and Matt. Green flag in the air. Power across the yard of bricks now and speeding off into turn number 1. And, of course, it was a disastrous month of May for Will Power last year, Matt, as he came very close to the turn 1 wall.
Yeah, and he was very close, in fact, touching the turn 2 wall last year in the bump session that we had. Of course, we don't have that this year, but Will did a taku from yesterday and hit the wall and still managed to qualify last year. So hopefully less of that exciting action for Will this time around as he comes across to complete lap 1. And this multicolored non-Penske kind of paint scheme, if you know what I mean, for Will this weekend with the Verizon colours. It's not the prim and proper Penske kind of paint scheme that we normally see, but it definitely stands out, and hopefully it will be standing out at the front of the field next Sunday.
231.968 miles an hour, lap 1 for Will Power as he sails down into turn number 3. Matt, how about you bring him around to complete lap 2 to see where we are?
Coming out of turn 4 and across the yard of bricks now, and lap 2 time for Will Power, 232.0, so he's actually a snick quicker than he was on the first lap. So this is a good run building here for Will as he comes through treacherous turn number 2, where Sebastian Bourdais had that huge crash in qualifying a few years back, if you remember. Not in the race this year, Seabass, but I'm sure he's watching on somewhere. Will turning into turn number 3. 12.
And as we come across the line, we'll step away from USON quickly as well, as they're a little bit behind on our TV pictures. I'm talking to them live, but their TV pictures are behind as well. Will Power then across the line, 230.5 as well is their time. And this again was Power touching the wall, the exit of turn 1. So close to what Jimmy Johnson did the other day. So Power goes second on 231.534. Average speed, of course, and he only lost a little bit throughout all of the laps, so that wasn't a bad run there overall. As we'll get ready. Next car out on the track, it's going to be Scott Dixon. Next up, as let's go back to USON quickly. We're live, but their TV pictures are behind, so they're commentating a little bit behind. Josh is saying, no, I'm live, so my pictures are on Sky F1, so I'm live. But USON's pictures are 40 seconds delayed, but we're talking to each other live. Gets confusing, but basically, we're live, we're talking to them live. It's just different as well. Let's see what they thought of that lap.
That was that high moment in 1 that, Matt, you said about, and that has put Will into second position of the 2 cars that have run.
Yeah, not a consistent run. Like you said, a full mile-an-hour drop-off just from laps 3 to 4. Power is second of 2. And Seth, what do we think about that run from Power?
He's flirting with disaster there, I'll tell you that much. I mean, but that's what you got to do here at Indianapolis. You got to have guts of steel here.
Scott,
So,
go on.
pretty good lap, but not as good as Sato, obviously.
So Sato leads the way, and we'll see Scott Dixon next. So, all right, very good. All synced up on this end. Hopefully, Josh is too. As
I'm around about 40 seconds. I'm a lap ahead of you lot as well, so that's what's causing a bit of an issue. But I'm loving hearing your reactions to it as well. Just seeing as well with Scott Dixon, guys, as well. He's out lap as well, 221. Now, Matthew, we saw yesterday as well, anything below 225 wasn't a good opening lap. So this could be slightly concerning for Dixon when he gets up to speed.
It is interesting, too. That warm-up lap for Dixon was much quicker than Sato or Power's warm-up lap. So we shall see what Scott Dixon can do. Of course, he won the pole for this race a year ago. He is a 4-time winner of the 500 pole, and the green flag is out for Scott Dixon, and his PNC Bank Honda is on the clock now. Now, we are anticipating, as you might have gathered from the Open, we are anticipating massive speeds later in this session, specifically in the second run, in the proper run for the pole. Yesterday, Rinus VK had a 4-lap average of over 233, which was the 3rd fastest run ever. So we're anticipating massive speeds, especially later in the afternoon as the track cools. Here is Scott Dixon out of turn 4, and down the main straightaway he comes, and lap 1 is in the books for Scott Dixon. And Matt, tell us what the numbers say about lap 1.
Emma likes it. She's nodding down there in pit lane, Mrs. Dixon.
Why
yeah.
wouldn't you like it?
Not seeing the time at my end.
233.907.
Oh, 233.9.
There we go.
For Scott Dixon.
And let me tell you,
very fast through the practices. Didn't particularly show much speed yesterday, but we've had a good chunk of the Ganassi cars in this session. So they've been strong all week, and Dixon is on his way, halfway around his run as he crosses the line now.
He's keeping that advantage as well. 233.898 on the second lap. And it's insane from what we're seeing as well. And to think, this is the car that started practice on Tuesday with its rear brakes on fire.
Oh my goodness, this is just an enormous run.
Guys, now he's blistering in a whole nother sense.
Yeah.
And to the line as we leave USRN for live pictures. Dixon across the line. Lap 3 was 233.616. Lap 4, 232.623. It's Scott Dixon on provisional pole position for the 500 at an amazing speed of 233.510. Amazing lap. Let's catch USRN.
Turn 2, it's looking good for Scott Dixon. Out of the corner he comes, and as you said, fastest earlier. Haven't found something overnight just to tweak these Ganassi cars up a tad more as he peels his way into turn 3 for the final time.
Well, let's see what Scott Dixon can do.
Into 3.
And now into turn 4. And a 4-time pole winner for the 500. And Seth, what are we going to see from Scott Dixon as his run comes to an end?
Checkered flag in the air. 232.623 for a 4-lap average of 233.510 miles an hour. That's 2 miles an hour quicker than Sato.
Well,
that's the 4th fastest time ever.
Celebrating as if they put a hole in that pit. I don't know if they've done that yet.
Well, it's a phenomenal run, 233.5. It's just off of what Rinus VK ran yesterday, and as Matt mentioned, it is better than Tony Stewart's run in 1996. We have just witnessed the 4th fastest qualifying run in Indy 500 history.
Now, I don't know if... Are you watching over there in America? Are you seeing Grosjean's laps? Because here on Sky, we're hearing just free air, which means... I'll throw the fader up if you like to hear it. But we're just hearing free air and the cars flinging around. So we're hearing nothing over there.
Which means...
Yes.
Right, well, I'll help you out. If you're on ad break as well, as we've got the green flag for Romain Grosjean. And heads down towards turn 1. Now, his warm-up lap was 222.59, but I think you're just about to come on as the lap starts as well. And guys, I'm working on a way that you can see the pictures I'm seeing, so we're all synced up. Might take a second, but we're gonna get there.
Well, we'll make it work anyway. Now we talked about this yesterday, Matt, of what's the meaning of a starting spot in a 500-mile race? Do you really have to start in the top 12? Well, it does better your chances, doesn't it? The race has been won from a top 12 starting position 80 times of the 105 runnings. That's roughly 76%.
Yeah, it's pretty big here. It's not so much a factor at, say, Talladega or Daytona in those 500 milers, but certainly here a big factor as Grosjean completes his first lap. Comes out of turn number 2 now.
233.270 miles an hour. The first lap for Romain Grosjean. That is a very quick lap. And of course, Seth, he's in the DHL Honda number 28 this year. First time for him running the 500. First year of him running the 28, which of course was taken to victory lane in this race in 2014.
Yeah, he's coming out of turn 4 right now, is the freshman.
And here we go again then, as they approach the line, as we're about to sync up coverage. Grosjean's second lap, 232.473 mile an hour. So again, looking mega quick. Keep your fingers crossed if it can stay that way, and if it can stay in that condition. Grosjean then, out of the last couple of corners, going to try and find some pace, going to try and find some time. Grosjean to the line, lap 3, and takes the white flag at 231.337. Okay, so that brings the average down to 232.357 according to the monitor on the average speed. You can see it, I can see it as well. Now keep your fingers crossed it's going to stay that way and we're not going to have any more of these problems. Keep it calm, keep it hard, try and find the best speed around as well, and just hope that there'll be some form of battling happening. Grosjean to the line, he takes the flag, and Romain Grosjean, to set the lap time to begin with, is on checkered flag time, 230.931. Grosjean goes second with an average of 231.999. Not a bad time, and he nearly brushed the wall. Let's rejoin you, SRN. And guys, let me know if you can hear me, because, yeah, good. Hello, everyone. I've synced up pictures, so hopefully you should be seeing the same thing I'm seeing.
Well, let's see here as Grosjean comes around turn 4, and we'll see the checkered flag. He was, again, very close to that wall out of 4. And the run has been completed for Romain Grosjean, fourth lap of 230.9, average of 231.999. He is second fastest.
What? Romain Grosjean.
Sorry about that.
Kenny Breck in 1999, and Erickson on the track, and well, let's see what this run might be. Ganassi was very good yesterday. Can they get some good speed today? But I am just wondering, Matt, what the conditions are like on this track, because it's a couple of cars now that we've seen very high, specifically out of turn 1.
Yeah, a couple. That's Power and Grosjean there that have had a little slip up. It's going to be slick, but as we've mentioned, cooling down all the time as we get later into the afternoon. Before Erickson gets into his run, quick question for the collective here, and I'm sure there might be some listeners that might have the same thought on their mind. Is this just a one-run session, or both of them are just a one-run session, or once we get through everybody, do we have opportunities to go again?
Yes, we do have opportunities to make other runs after the 12 run in this session. Then there will be second runs if you choose to do it. And of course, the poll is not settled in this session. What's settled in this session is dwindling it down from 12 to 6. So you'll see guys 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th probably going to make a second run to see what they can get out of it, see if they can get in to that top 6. All right, we are looking at Marcus Erickson. First lap was 2:33.4. Second lap was 2:32.6. So it was not a very consistent run on the first 2 laps, at least, for Marcus Erickson.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me on the correct mic now that we've
Yes.
switched everything? Yay! Fixed it. And you can see the pictures that I see, and now we're all synced up perfect. Sorry about that. I've moved you over to the map book so you can see the stream because I suddenly thought that would be a modern idea. But the mic was going through the laptop, so I think you were hearing that of the pit lane. So sorry about that. But this is looking fantastic.
Well,
Seth?
yep, on that third lap, 2:33.269.
Yeah, very much better third lap for Marcus Erickson, and now on his final lap. So if you are listening to us on YouTube or on USRN, we were not helped out by NBC coming on the air 30 seconds before a car went out on the track, so there was no opportunity for us to get straightened up, but we are getting there, closer and closer. Checkered flag for Marcus Erickson, and it was a 2:33.266 fourth lap, and yes, second fastest with a 4-lap average of 2:33.166. Second fastest is Marcus Erickson as he goes right behind his teammate Scott Dixon at the top of the board.
What an opening
Wouldn't
lap.
be a USRN broadcast without technical problems, so let's tick that one off your bingo card straight away.
Nor one of mine. Nor one of mine. Honestly, the amount of times we had to stop practice 1 this weekend was insane.
But we are all good now, thankfully. And now, Seth, guess who we get on the track next? We get, Seth, a fan favorite for sure, Ed Carpenter.
Yeah, he is the hometown boy, literally. He's from Indianapolis, graduate of Butler University. He would like to win this race about as much as he wants his next breath in life. And if he were to he's won the pole for this race several times, and it would be the greatest day in Indiana sports history if he were to cross the Yard of Bricks first a week from today.
Well, and we talked about this yesterday. I think we mentioned it when Megan was on, actually, as Carpenter is starting his warm-up lap. But, Josh, it has been quite the long time since a driver from Indiana has won the 500. Wilbur Shaw in 1940, the last Hoosier to win the 500.
That's insane to think it's been that long as well. And think about all the amazing winners we've had in that time as well, and how much the track would have changed, how much the IndyCars have changed in that time as well. Just staggering. And for him to get this far as well into the session, this is into the fast 12. Now, we know he was quick at Carpenter, so it could be into the fast 6 as well. If it does happen, are we all going to do the same thing and just jump up and scream with delight as we take the green flag?
Anchorman style.
Yes, Anchorman
All
style.
in unison.
Well, he has won the pole for this race on 3 different occasions, Ed Carpenter. He was the runner-up to Will Power in the 2018 race. Yesterday, Carpenter's run was 232.397. If he runs that again, he would be third on the scoring pylon. As here comes Ed Carpenter out of turn 4, and what says the stopwatch, Matt?
Let's see as he comes across the line now. The first lap is in the books for Ed. Of course, not the only ECR car in this qualifying session because he's got his teammate to come, Renus VK.
Let me tell you, Whoa!
Wow.
My God!
234.244 miles an hour for Ed Carpenter. He is blistering this 2.5-mile oval into turn 3. Into turn 4, he's coming to complete the second lap. Let's see what this lap shows, Seth, after a lap of 234.2.
Yeah, a little Charlotte Hornet colors, a little purple
Yes.
Pop-Tart. See what up there. Let's see if he, well, it didn't quite buzz around that much. 232.499 on that one. So he was off a little bit on that second lap, but goodness gracious, 234 on that first lap. Insane.
That's a shame.
All
I was just
right.
about to say the dream season could become a different backing and maybe to Ed Carpenter instead of Helio Castroneves.
Well, let's see. There was a big drop-off from lap 1 to 2, Josh. What says the stopwatch on lap 3?
Out of turn 4, nearly runs in towards the wall as well. Lap 3 takes the white flag as well. And lap 3, 233.540. So he's gained some
Back on it.
average back.
Yeah, he did. Boy, he picked it up a full mile an hour plus from lap 2 to lap 3. So Ed Carpenter, the Butler University graduate from just 5 miles down the road, he's got to hang on for 2 more corners. Here he is in turn 3. Ed Carpenter trying to displace Scott Dixon at the top of the board through the north short chute into the 9 degrees of banking turn 4. Here comes Ed Carpenter searching for what would be his 4th pole in the history of the Indianapolis 500. Checkered flag in the air. Lap 4 comes up at 232.023. He drops down to 3rd.
Disappointing. Front row at the moment, but the track's getting quicker out there. And guess who's out next? It's the oval expert, Jimmy Johnson.
Well,
I was just
okay.
about to say, you mentioned fan favourite with Ed Carpenter. Let's see what the next boy out can do.
All right, Seth, my guy Seth, we're gonna take this over for a couple minutes.
Yeah,
The
you two go for it.
The NASCAR guys are gonna take over this thing for just a minute, because can you imagine what could be going through the minds of some NASCAR guys currently in Texas and others in Charlotte heading for a big race, a crown jewel race, the 600 next Sunday? Could you imagine the buzz in NASCAR land if Jimmy Johnson were to win pole for the Indianapolis 500?
It'd be amazing. You've heard of the movie, the 40-year-old version. Here's the 46-year-old rookie. Amazing. He has captured everybody's attention here this week. Fast, and fast some more, of course. For those of you that might not be familiar, when he was in NASCAR, he ran pretty well on the oval, won the Brickyard 400 on 4 separate occasions.
Only bettered by Jeff Gordon, who won 5.
He
Correct.
came into the IndyCar series last year, of course, only running the road and street courses. It became a bit of a side joke, really, for the incidents and things that he had and being off the pace. But he was getting up to speed with this series. And as soon as they hit the oval at Texas earlier in the year, he got a tremendous run going there and a great finish. And here he is in the Fast 12 at the 500, and he gets the green flag now.
So Jimmy Johnson is started his first qualification run of the day, fast all month long.
Oh, he touched it!
And oh!
He touched it! Now,
Great
that's
save.
like what he did in practice 2. He touched the wall at the exit, just got a massive oversave. How have we not had any crashes this weekend? Everybody has saved it.
Because
Don't
he's the
speak
best
too
driver.
soon.
He's one of the best drivers on the planet.
Absolutely right.
Bang on. He's
Wow.
picked this one up, though.
He has continued. He's back up to paces, Jimmy. We'll see what the time is as he comes underneath the pagoda now to end that harem-scarum first lap for the 48 car. 229.9. It's going to be well down. So
Yeah. And
this now is going to be a case of just get it round, get a time on the board, refocus and go again for Jimmy Johnson.
Well, I was actually just about to ask you, Matt, because there are multiple runs in this round, would you just pull it in? Would you abort the run, save the tires, save the car, and then just go again after the next 6 run?
Maybe save the and the fact that he is number 7 out on the racetrack, so he doesn't guarantee himself a place if there was to be a pop-up shower or something crazy now when we've already got 6 through. because that could.
Oh,
curtail
what?
it, but
Never mind.
232.9 on the second lap for Jimmy Johnson.
Jeez.
I,
I guess, Josh, they're not going to abort the run.
No,
No.
I'm staggered. I'm staggered. And that's put him still 7th, but can they get more speed on the next 2 laps? How much has that Carvana actually got? Honda power unit in the back as well. And Jimmy Johnson does love ovals. Can he take up there as well? Average at the moment is 231.419 as he comes to the line. White flag.
White flag for Johnson. He's got 2.5 miles to go. Lap 3 was slower than lap 2, 231.8. And he's, fighting the wheel again in turn 1.
He's still a tick above Will Power's 4-lap average, but he's got to get around this time, and that wobble there in turn 1 will not help him. So it does look like Jimmy is going to slot himself in to turn 7. He's got half a lap to go. 7th place, sorry, not turn 7.
Just say, where have we gone?
We're not on the road course this week.
No. Jimmy Johnson around turn 4. Okay, Seth, let's put an ending to this first run for Jimmy.
Yeah, unacceptable, Matt. How dare you screw up in front of the mayor like that?
Yeah, I know.
Flag. Jimmy Johnson, lap 4, 230.368 miles an hour, a 4-lap average of 231.264 miles an hour, slower of the 7 that have ran.
But lucky Josh to have a car left.
Absolutely.
Wow, he was close.
That is insane.
Wow.
Lost the rear
Wow.
out of turn 1, nearly pushed it into the wall. How?
That was understeer, and then it snapped the other way.
Insane. I've no idea where this is coming from as well.
Oh, Roman's reaction was a bit like ours as he watched on.
I'm getting a message from Josh Plays, by the way. He was our pit reporter for the F1 coverage as well. And he was saying as well that it seems to be a little bit of a problem when it comes to the green as well, in terms of the fact that the speed isn't actually being recorded until 300 meters after the control line. So the drivers are starting to lift off before their speed's recorded. That's interesting. I wonder if that's a TV graphical issue rather than an IMSA. Indy. There you go, Seth. I've done it now.
Probably it's pretty certain that the Indianapolis Motor Speedway wouldn't make a silly mistake like that. So we'll go with that as a graphical error. Again, talking of fan favourites, next on the racetrack, Tony Kanaan in the number 1 car.
47-year-old from Salvador, Brazil, back again for his 21st run in the Indianapolis 500. He was the winner in 2013. He was the pole sitter in 2005. And that win in 2013, Seth, was certainly an emotional one because he had tried 11 times to win the 500. He won it in his 12th. Tony Kanaan is on the clock.
He tried so many times to win this thing, and it was one of the more popular and emotional victories in 500 history when he took the yellow and checkered flag on that overcast day in 2013. Absolutely amazing. And slick looking red, white, and blue number 1. I hate to, again, the IndyCar people are going to hate the NASCAR comparison. Kind of reminds you, though, Matthew, of Elliott Sadler's Xfinity car he ran with a number 5.
Yeah, it absolutely does. As Kanaan roars down the main straightaway across the yard of bricks. And Tony Kanaan has completed lap 1 of 4 on this qualifying run at 233.202 miles an hour. He has 10 times started this race from the first 2 rows on the grid, trying to repeat that feat again. And Matt, take him through turns 3 and 4 into the end of lap 2.
Peeling into 3 now. The American Legion car. It's looking pretty solid. Into 4 he comes, just tickling the white line down there on the inside of turn number 4. Plenty of room to his right there on the exit to the wall. Halfway round for Tony Kanaan. The lap is a 233.170, so not much loss there in the second lap for TK. 233.186, the current average of 2 laps.
Very consistent first 2 laps. We talked about this all day yesterday. There's going to be drop-off from lap 1 to 4, but how consistent can you be? Can you limit the drop-off? He is averaging at 233.186, which would just by a smudge put him ahead of Marcus Erickson, splitting Dixon, and Erickson. Of course, Canal is driving for Chip Ganassi. Josh, let's see what this lap looks like.
That 3 across the board has been quite smooth for Canal, but I'm not expecting it to be as fast as the opening 2, and it isn't. It's down at 232.862 miles an hour, brings the average down to 233.078.
And that's only 5/1000ths of a mile an hour ahead of Ed Carpenter. So he is in a fight here for third. It looks like he'll be third, fourth, or fifth, around that, if he can hold on for 2 more left-hand turns, Seth.
Yeah, just got to get it through smoothly. Runs the groove you're supposed to through 3. Now in the short chute. Now heading for turn 4. Out of turn 4, Tony Kanaan heading for the yard of bricks. Checkered flag in the air. Lap 4, 232.854 miles an hour for a 4-lap average of 233.022 miles an hour, which puts him 4th quickest on the board.
Well, I would say, Matt, that was a very consistent run, but it might not be safe to stay in the top 6.
No, absolutely. So we'll have to see what happens with the rest of the guys that come. I think we'll probably see Tony Kanaan again at some stage here this afternoon in this session. And just when you thought you'd had enough of Chip Ganassi cars, because we've had 4 of them run already, here comes the 5th one. It's the series champion, Alex Palou.
We've got Jimmy Johnson down on pit road, so we'll search him.
Yes.
Effort in the setup of the car and trim settings and stuff that we've had, and I was committed to run one flat, and it just was so light on top of the track. I was wide and trying to keep it off the fence at that point.
I knew you had changed the car a little bit. You wanted to know about the speed in the track, right? What do you think caught you out?
Inexperience, I think, ultimately. I think the sunlight on the track and the track temp coming up in these conditions, just trying to find that right balance in the race car. And these guys are so good at what they do. In these trickier conditions, I just need a bit more experience.
Impressive today, not the speed he wanted, Lee. Kevin?
Another very unique rookie after almost a decade in Formula One. Romain Grosjean is doing the Indianapolis 500. 5th right now. Was that good enough?
That was scary. Track condition changed a lot from the morning. We tried everything we had to go fast to get some speed in the car, but it was definitely a run that wasn't easy. Honestly, I used all the tools in the car and wasn't very comfortable, so I'm glad it's behind me. I don't think it's going to be enough, but anyway, I'm proud of what we've done so far.
Thanks, Romain.
Back to you, Matthew.
Green flag for Alex Palou, reigning series champion. He had 3 wins a year ago and 3 podiums in the first 5 races of this season, Matt.
And let's not forget, second in this race last year. And
Who could forget?
He was leading with 2 laps to go. Was the number 10 car, Alex Palou, but ended up second. So let's see and track the current series champion. As you said, he's in turn 4 now on his first run. The last of our Chip Ganassi cars to run in this Fast 12 session across the line. Let's see how Palou is getting on with the first lap.
233.751, the lap for Alex Palou. Indeed, he was the runner-up a year ago.
Astroneva still with about 3 car lengths on the man straight to Seth Eves for the final time.
Pagano is by Ward for third. Castroneves tucked in behind Hunter-Ray. Alex Palou running out of time in racetrack. Castroneves with about a car length lead. He's come close to number 4 on 2 different occasions. Will this be the charm, Mr. Owen? On to the main straightaway. An exclusive club of 3 has opened up its doors for another 4-time winner. Elio Castroneves has just become a racing titan, the 4th 4-time winner of the Indianapolis 500.
Just a couple of car lengths ahead of Alex Palou at the finish. 233.4 was lap 2 for Palou from Spain. And of course, Josh, you were in Spain just this morning, yes?
Yes, I was. Yeah, doing the Formula One. Great race there as well. And disappointment for Charles Leclerc not finishing. But great for Red Bull. Finally, the championship has closed back up. Just 6 points between Verstappen and Leclerc. Monaco next up. Same day as the Indy 500. 2 of the 3 triple crowns on one day. I'm going to be living in heaven when I'm commentating on them. Lap 3 average was 233.234, by the way. So that brings it down to 233.489. So at the moment, it's Alex Palou down to 2nd place.
Very consistent run, as you know, Matt and Seth. Any excuse to play that clip from last year.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
I never tire of it.
Josh, what you don't hear is that immediately after that he goes into Murray Walker 1996. He says, and I really do, and I have to stop because I really do have a lump in my throat.
Yeah, well, I don't think any of us talked much after the end of that race, to be honest. Here comes the checkered flag, though, for Alex Palou as Papa Palou looks on. Across the line he comes. Lap 4 in the books, 2:32.922. Palou slides in a second place with a 2:33.347 four-lap average.
Disappointingly, that kicks, at the moment, Carpenter off the front row. I know we've got to go to the fast 6, but we can dream for a little bit, can't we? If there was some problem where we couldn't run the fast 6, Carpenter would have started third. But, guys, I'm not going to rule out that of Takuma Sato or even Jimmy Johnson. Consistently fast in practice. Today is where it matters, though. And next out, it's, is it Pato O'Ward next out?
Felix
Rosenquist. Yeah, you're right. It is Rosenquist next out. I've just got this feeling as well that, is this the year McLaren come good? What is this now? Their 4th crack at the whip at Indy? They need to get good.
Well, let's see what it's going to be here. We are going in order, remember, from slowest to fastest of the top 12 yesterday. So we have the fastest 3 from yesterday hitting the track now, Rosenquist, O'Ward, and then Rinus VK. Now, one thing that we are trying to clarify here, or at least I'm trying to clarify, as Rosenquist is on his warm-up lap, it was put in the new qualifying format that there would be multiple runs. You could make multiple runs in both of these last 2 sessions. But also on the format that was given out to the media and the public, it is said that this session, the top 12 session, would end at 4:45 Eastern. Well, we're 3 minutes away from that.
Yeah.
And obviously we've got 3 more runs to complete, so we will try to stay on top of that for you.
Well, if it helps, Matthew, in the timer we've got up here in the commentary box as well on the YouTube stream, it says 17 minutes and 22 seconds until the track closes for this session of the Fast 12.
Okay, very good then. So, by using that then, there is more time left for when these last 3 runs complete. It was just interesting that it said that this would end at 4:45, and we're just about there. So, all right, very good to hear that then, as Rosenquist is on lap number 1. Mentioned earlier, Kenny Brack, the only other Swedish driver to win the race. Of course, Rosenquist from Värnamo, Sweden. He was 6th a week ago yesterday at the Indy GP, the first top 10 of the season for him. What does lap 1 look like for Felix Rosenquist? He was going into turn 1 at 241 miles an hour, and Rosenquist's first lap was 2:32.594.
Decent time, that, I'd say as well. He might just be able to keep it up. Now, that puts him at the moment, P6. Crucially, he's on the cusp there, isn't he? He needs to get a bit faster, and he is half a mile an hour away from Canal on the average. That's a big ask there, isn't it, Matt? Matthew.
Yeah, it really is. And a bit of a wobble in turn 4 as well.
Oh, he
got a hold of it.
Look at that. He's touching the wheel. So I think he might abandon this one.
Yeah, making adjustments using those tools. 2:32.2 was lap number 2.
Felix was on the rev limiter on one of his laps in that run yesterday. Into turn 1, absolutely on the hard cut. So we know their car was absolutely trimmed out. Not lost too much, though, with that slight wobble. In the second lap, he's in 3 now on lap 3.
Arrow McLaren SP. The SP part is Schmidt Peterson. The Schmidt part of that is Sam Schmidt, who has won the pole for the Indy 500 as a car owner twice, once with Alex Tagliani 11 years ago, then again with James Hinchcliffe. Rosenquist completes lap 3 at 2:32.2. And of course, Sam Schmidt himself is such an easy guy to root for. Such a story he is.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he is one of those. You see him on the track, and you see him on pit road, and you paddock, and you think, easy inspiration, easy guy to root for. And Felix, see if he's giving him a solid run, but just staying consistently up in that 2:32 bracket, which would put him 6th, if my math is correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
he is trending 6th, and that's likely where he's going to end up. Are we right in that, Josh?
It looks like we are. 232.182 mile an hour is the average speed. He dropped to 231.716 on the 4th lap. But to me, that was not a happy run. He was changing things on the steering wheel as well. Of course, he had that big wobble as well and lost some mile an hour. If I was him, I'd probably run again. But McLaren's focus now will be on that of Pato O'Ward, their big hope for the 500 and the title this year.
Of course, Rosenquist will just be pleased to be able to start top 12. He has never really had great success here at Indy, including a 27th place finish in the 500 a year ago. Well, here he is, the Mexican racing hero, Pato O'Ward. And a winner just at the start of the month, 3 weeks ago, Matt, in Alabama, just like every Mexican sport athlete should be, a winner in Alabama.
Go.
And what a great move it was for him to get the win. And he'll be hoping he can kind of in some ways pull a fast one here again on Rinus VeeKay, who's cut to come. But it was those two that battled it out for the win at Barber, 3 or 4 weeks ago now.
Yep, 3
And,
weeks ago
O'Ward,
today.
O'Ward made that move on there. He's outlap from the pit lane to snatch the lead away from VeeKay and was never headed.
I don't think Sato's going to run again, by the way, guys, because he's just been talking to NBC saying that he's happy where he is. But with only 13 minutes to go until the track closes for this session, I don't think we're going to see them. But, of course, we're going slightly blind because we don't know if we are going to have multiple runs. We've never seen it before in the Fast 12 sessions or the Fast 6s. It's a new type of format, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, it is. And just for those of you listening along, just joining us, it's Scott Dixon at the top of the board, Alex Palou 2nd, Marcus Erickson 3rd, Ed Carpenter 4th, Tony Kanaan 5th, and Felix Rosenquist 6th. Those are the 6 in the transfer positions. The top 6 from this session moves on to the run for the pole. Pato O'Ward on track now, then it's Rinus VeeKay, then all 12 will have run in this session. Here comes Patricio O'Ward of Monterrey, Mexico, to the green flag. His run is underway.
So that confirms then that Dixon, Palou, Erickson and Carpenter will be in the fast. They cannot be knocked out with 2 cars left to go. Here is O'Ward then in
But they
turn
can
2.
if there are reruns.
Yeah.
They can if there are reruns, but if we don't get any reruns, then they are locked in to Q3 as such, which will be coming up in the not too distant future. O'Ward in turn 3 looks pretty solid on his first lap.
And watch for this time. We're going to watch because he was at 242 miles an hour going into turn 1. So this could be a big number, Seth. Is it? Is it a big number for Pato?
We wait. We wait.
We wait.
233.476.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
big
Okay.
number.
Second.
Yep.
So at the moment, he's
That's a
running
sizable
second.
number.
They're the waiting is not easy for us.
I know, it's really hard because the graphic doesn't pop up on the screen for another 30 seconds and it flashes up on the iPad to tell me.
So 233.476 was the first lap for Pato. And that would be good enough if it stayed at that mark for second. Let's see about lap 2. He's halfway through his run. 233.080. That was down by about 0.4 of a mile an hour. In turn 2.
Tell you, if this can... Whoa, he was a little bit
He
high
got
there.
below the white line there. He got below the white. He had 2 wheels below that white line. He nearly lost control. That sucker.
The viewership and the eyes on IndyCar down in Mexico is growing all the time. More rumours swirling that we might be going back down there for a race.
Yeah.
If Pato O'Ward could pull this together, they might sign the deal themselves. Here is O'Ward across to take the white flag.
And what's the number, Matt? Let's see.
It is 232.288, so he's slipped a lot on that third lap. 232.947 is the free lap average. Here comes O'Ward then to complete his final lap of his run in Fast 12.
Well, he was second fastest yesterday, but the conditions were perfect for him. He was the second car out. He was the first car out, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
The first car out yesterday ended second. The second car out ended first. So it was perfect conditions for Pato yesterday. Maybe not as good today. Let's see as he completes his run here, Josh.
Cross the line then to take the checkered flag. Fourth lap average will come up shortly. Lap 4, though, is 231.983, averaging out at 233.343. Palou goes second fastest as it stands. So that now, with VK to go, I feel sorry mainly for Jimmy Johnson.
Okay, so one more run until all 12 have made their run. And what does that clock look like, Josh? Because for whatever reason, NBC is not affording us that luxury.
It's at 9:25. So 9 minutes 25.
One person's going to get a shot here because you've got to be out of the pit lane before the gun sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
I reckon this could be only 12. I reckon where you are is where you are, which means for VK, it's all or nothing for pole.
And they're holding Renus.
Well, Matthew, 20-plus years on, does the Speedway have a new Flying Dutchman?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. As he takes off, a lot of people, including all of us, were wondering, heading into the day, could we see a record-setting day after the speeds we seen yesterday and now in cooler conditions today? Could we see something that maybe challenged Arie Luyendyk's all-time qualifying run of 236.9 set in 1996? Well, as Seth mentioned, Arie from the Netherlands, and he has been a mentor to this young man.
If you want to know what
VK.
If you want to know what the Netherlands are saying right now, my commentary partner on Formula 2 and Formula 3, Synthol, as well, who's just said into the YouTube chat, "Come on, VK!" exclamation marks, and a love, a heart emoji face as well. So the Dutch are willing him on for a pole sitter.
If he repeats what he did yesterday, Matt, 233.6, he would go to the top. But all he needs is a 232.8 to secure a top 6 spot.
Yep, I'm sure they've got that information too, Renus. It's already been a big day for Dutch motorsport, of course, with Max Verstappen winning the Spanish Grand Prix. Can the bright orange...
Well, Matt, you say win. Sort of let through is my personal take on that.
Oh, boy. Don't say that to Seth.
It was a great race. Just to think it was Checo's day, mainly more as well as he come back through. Is that the green flag? It is.
Is that the green? Troy Rutman won this race in 1952 at 22 years, 80 days old. Next Sunday, if Renus VK were to win, he would beat that mark to be the youngest winner by some 186 days. So he's got that history on the line. He led laps in last year's 500. He started 3rd. He finished 8th. He has experience here at Indianapolis. He has experience of being one of the fastest runners ever at Indianapolis. Lap 1 is 234.099 miles an hour.
I am shocked, as I'm sure we all are.
That is ridiculous.
Gotta keep it going.
I mean, he was going 241 on at the yard of bricks. Forget going into turn 1. At the yard of bricks, he was 241.
Gotta stay consistent. He's got to be able to complete 3 more laps. He's about to complete one of those here. All right, Renus VK in the Bitcoin machine. Could it be a cash kind of day for him? What's that to, Seth?
233.622 miles per hour.
All right, drop down about half a mile an hour there, Matt. Do we have Matt? Might not have him.
I'll tell you what, though, Matthew, as well, this is looking quite quick. I think Matt's there. No, Matt.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Matt, I'll take. This is looking quite quick out of turn 4 as well for Renus VK then to take the lap 3 average as well. This could be something else across the line. Can he stay ahead of Dixon? White flag in the air. He's staying ahead of Dixon. 233.153. Matthew, the last lap is yours.
Renus VK is averaging at 233.624 miles an hour. If he does that, he would just about equal what he did yesterday. Down the 5/8 of a mile back straightaway, heading towards the north end of the track in turn 3. His parents watching along downstairs in the pit box, rooting their young star on. Here he is out of turn 4. Renus VK looking to go top of the board once again for Ed Carpenter Racing. Checkered flag in the air. Renus VK is second.
Oh.
233.429 is the 4-lap average. He is just eked out by Dixon, but he will be in the Fast 6.
Wow. I think that's it. Just one word from all of us. Wow. We're very much turning into Lightning McQueen. I can't remember the actor who played him now. It's gone up my mind. Who's in every film says wow. It's not David Spade. I'm going to be quiet now. Anyway, what a lap for VK. And he did lose in the end, but that's a good benchmark, isn't it, guys? Because now he's going to look at it and think, I know where to go quicker. Checkered flag has just been displayed at the start line. Qualifying is over. Top 12 is over. So that's it. Fast 6 confirmed, Matthew.
Wow, okay, so it will be Dixon, VK, Polo, Erickson, Carpenter, and Canal that advance to the run for the pole. Pato Award out after he was second yesterday. Rosenquist out after he was third yesterday. Grosjean, Sato, Power, and Johnson also out.
Synthel just said, Synthel says that's not for pole right yet, right? No, this is the Fast 12. Now we're going to the top 6. They get another run to go for it as well. And Tom Dillon says, TFW Joshua's stream is ahead of Sky Go. Oh, our streams, okay, so Sky Go in the UK, we're ahead of that. But we're slightly behind TV pictures, but we're commentating. You know, I try and work it out, but my brain just aches with time measurements as well. Twitter.
You don't want to overthink anything.
No, I don't. Not after a long day. They're back. Great. I was just about to go through the order on the YouTube channel as to where they all are on the battle computer, but they all went away. So now we've got it. So Dixon's on top. His average speed as well, as I said, 233.5. VK is second, 233.4. Palou third, 233.3. Erickson fourth, 233.1. Carpenter fifth, 233.0. And Canal sixth, 233.022. So that, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that's the top 6 going through.
It is, yes.
Right, starting 7 to 12, I've just been decided. Pato Award is 7th. Felix Rosenquist is 8th. Romain Grosjean 9th. Takuma Sato 10th. And Will Power is in 11th place as well.
Jimmy Johnson 12th. So starting position 7 to 33 are confirmed for the Indianapolis 500.
And Matt White is back, folks.
Good. I am back, folks.
Hey!
I've heard you the whole time. But here I am.
Where you gone?
Four Chip Ganassi cars in the Fast 6. Could we have a Ganassi front row sweep here?
Wow.
I was thinking about the go. Like, man, let's get a Ganassi lockout here.
I would love it if that happens, to be fair. Now, I personally loved how it wasn't last year, it was the year before, wasn't it, when Marco Andretti had pole. And
yes,
we had
2020, the
2020,
Kobe
yeah.
race.
We had Mario in the 2-seater, Michael in the pace car, and Marco in the lead car. So 3 Andrettis were 1, 2, 3. That was a lovely, lovely time, that one. And Dixon's having some changes to his car down in pit road as well. And I think we're going to have some interviews throwing down in a second. No, they're talking about last year's 500 now, which I reckon Matthew Owens, Seth Evans, and Matt White as well in the box. You are back, aren't you, Matt?
Yeah.
Lovely. While we got this little lull as well, and radio is easier to fill than YouTube, I just want to ask as well, what was your thoughts on last year's 500? Half capacity crowd. I know you're all going to go about Helio.
What was my thoughts on last year's Indy 500?
Yeah, you really want to ask that question, Josh.
I do, but you on USRN know it. We heard your commentary earlier, but those on the YouTube probably don't know what your thoughts on it. So I'm going to relive the glory days for you and ask you each.
Go on, Seth and Matt.
What the hell do I need to explain?
We heard
it was the great. I mean, it was one of the greatest moments in the history of our network. The greatest. Yes, I mean, it's still pinned on the freaking Twitter page. For goodness sake.
Yeah.
Just amazing to sit there and watch that bit of history, and you think, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And he played it to perfection, and then the whole scene, the crowd, what was there was going crazy. He climbed the fence. Everybody, everybody, every crew member, every team was just trying to get in on the act somehow, and it was special. That was for sure.
Yeah, absolutely was. The three of us and our good friend Collins Janus just couldn't fathom words under that while that celebration and was going on at the end. It very much in the same vein as Dale Earnhardt winning the 500 after all those attempts when all the crew members came out, and Greg Murphy's lap of the gods at Bathurst when all the crew members came out. It's just a special moment that everybody that was there will say, everybody that was there will say I was there, and a couple of other million people will say, oh yes, I was there too.
Matthew, have you got your voice back after shouting the greatest call for a four-time winner I can imagine? In comparison, my call of that is nothing. It is terrible when Cash Nevers won it. I was going crazy. You were going crazy, but were literally stringing the words together like it was Shakespeare. It was perfect, what we heard earlier.
And Josh, now you know how good Matthew Owens really is.
Oh, yeah. Already I owe him quite a lot of alcohol after filling in yesterday for about an hour and a half with Megan while I did that.
Well, it's like Seth said. For me, it's the greatest moment ever for me. And I'm talking sports. I'm talking just about anything. I am not in the category that our good friend Matt is. I have not been there for a birth of a child. I don't plan to be either. But it's just the greatest moment because and you heard in the call from last year, Seth, who has been terrific manning turns 3 and 4 at the 500 for so many years for us now. He made the call there. He'd come close to number 4 on several different occasions. You think of the race against Hunter Ray in 14. You think of the battle with Sato in 17. Even at some level, you think about 2018 when he was up there and crashed in the final handful of laps. I thought he had a good chance to win that race too. And you could even go back to 16, where he was nowhere all day long, but he was playing the fuel game that Rossi and a few others were, just came up short in the last couple of laps. He had come so close to number 4 on several different occasions, and it's all personally that I thought about coming into the month of May, because to win this race 4 times is the biggest achievement in motor racing, I think, personally. And for him to join Mears and Unser and Foyt was just the best moment ever. And only to be topped if he wins a 5th a week from today.
Christ almighty, Matt, you making me feel old saying 3 and 4 for so many years. God almighty.
What was it? Well, 17, 18, 20, and 21. So, okay, 4. Very good. Very good. But yeah, it was just. I'm
just the passenger in the seat that the mayor rides and waves the crowd on.
You really do need to stop.
Don't go to Dallas. Don't go Dallas.
We are speaking, Seth. We are speaking to a new fan base, new listeners today on the YouTube, so you need to stop spreading lies to new people today.
No, I'm not spreading lies.
Hey, I'll let you know.
You are the walking, talking encyclopedia of this speedway. You are a masterful wordsmith of an announcer, and when you combine that, I don't think there's a more perfect voice for this race than you.
I agree, and I'm going to have to call it as well. So I was kind of hoping that we could do this again in the 500, and I'll just sit down and listen to you, Matthew, for the entire time. But yeah,
and I don't want to insult you, Josh. That'd be a pretty good idea.
Yeah, to be fair,
stop it.
To be fair, I think it's great.
I'm not going to stop it.
Oh, go on. An American calling the 500, it just fits. The Brits just can't do it right just yet.
No offence to our friend across the booths, Lee Diffie, of course.
Yeah, Lee Diffie. Yeah,
Oh, he's Australian. That doesn't count.
No, exactly. But yeah, I know, but I didn't say he was. But you said an American calling the 500.
Brits. The Brits just can't get it yet. And then Matt was like, apologies to our friend across the booth, Lee Diffie.
Hey, he's lived in the UK for a number of years. We can claim him as our own. He doesn't live here now, obviously.
Yeah, he didn't live here because the BBC fired him.
Yeah, playing championships now.
Oh dear.
We're going all over the place.
I was just thinking, by the way, before we got into the conversation of last year, I was thinking, Matt, you were talking about the possibility of Ganassi sweeping the front row. Last time that was done at the 500 was 1988. Bet you can't guess which team swept the front row. It was Team Penske, of course. With Rick Mears, Danny Sullivan, and Al Unser swept the front row in 1988.
There's a trio of names, isn't there?
Wow. So
I have no idea what you said, but I don't know if I want to hear what you said. What
you said? Daniel John Sullivan III.
Oh, very good. Okay, I thought you said something else. Never mind. Yes, Daniel John Sullivan III of Louisville, Kentucky, was there. So they swept the front row in 1988, and if memory serves, that was a race that Rick Mears won. He and Sullivan led just about the entire race between the two. I'm trying to go back in my mind.
Oh, stop with the pausing. You know it.
I am. I'm trying to go back in my mind. I know Mears led 89 laps.
And you see why we get upset when he downplays his Indy knowledge to us, Josh?
I know.
You see why we get upset?
Nonetheless, Mears and Sullivan led very much of the race. That's all I have to say.
I was conversating with him yesterday, guys, and he was literally spouting knowledge during the rain delay as well. And we had 7,000 people join us on the YouTube stream yesterday as well, watching on during, and they stayed around during the rain delays as well. And
Seth, you're lying to 7,000 people.
Yeah, and
well, 7,000 people got a Brickyard education course.
They did. And NASCAR.
As we know over on USO, we do know how to do rain delays quite well.
Yes, we do.
We've had a few of them over the years.
Guys,
most of the times it's silliness. This instance with Matthew is just spewing off now like the real Brickyard historian that he is.
Is this live pictures of the 6 cars going?
Yeah, we're getting
there?
a parade on the racetrack now of who will be in the Fast 6 following round the pace car.
Yes, very well. And let's describe to you what is going on, because the 6 that have advanced are on the racetrack, and from how I have understood it, this pocket of time between sessions, those 6 are being led by some fans in the Corvette Pace Car that are being taken on the ride of a lifetime. They are going at about 100 miles an hour around the track. So a couple of lucky fans are in the official Corvette Pace Car. It's being driven by Rick Mears, a 4-time 500 winner. And, of course, that Corvette will pace the field next Sunday. It will be, once again, a Chevrolet pacing the field for the 500, which it has done for 26 times prior.
Yeah, it's never
being
good.
Driven by...
who else knows that a Chevrolet has been the pace car 26 times? No one else knows it.
you know.
Well, was it a Chevrolet that year the brakes failed?
I know now that you told me.
Yeah, was it a Chevy the year the brakes failed and went straight onto turn 1? Or is that something else?
Are we talking about 1971?
Yes, we are.
Are we talking about when the pace car hit a photographer's stand?
That's the one.
Oh, boy.
Jim McKay had that.
Boy, did he ever. That was a Dodge Challenger.
Do you have the make, model, number written down in your notes?
Bin.
It was driven by Eldon Palmer, a local car salesman who did not know to go slow on pit road.
We're not seeing it now, are we? No, this is 1980s.
No, this is Rick.
Right. I was going to say, are they listening to us on FBC again? Because I'm TV
they do that
station.
plenty.
Yeah.
They do that plenty.
Wow. USON. Oh, hang on a minute. Josh Plays just said USON and Josh Birch produced the best filler content as well. Well, we got used to it by now. We covered the 24 hours. We covered the 500. We covered Daytona 500. And you guys are veterans at filling time.
Unfortunately,
we
we don't want to be.
No. Well, we're doing the best. Twitter is, I know it's a tweeter. Twitter is open, and as well, there are some people saying, "What is this Fast Six parade we are seeing?" As well, and why are we seeing it?
Don't worry, because it's finished now.
Thank God for that.
It is.
All those people that like to complain about everything, that is now finished.
Apparently, it was from a Mr. Lewis Hamilton. Don't know who he is. Complaining out there.
Oh dear, dear. Yeah. So when the pace car did just
post race and everything tonight. I don't know if Kobe will be back. I know Ben filled in for him yesterday. Kobe's celebrating a birthday recently. Happy belated to him. But Joe and I would assume Adam are going to be there. They'll probably preview the All-Star race tonight, and they'll go over Indy 500 qualifications. And
I think they did it earlier.
And the Spanish Grand Prix. Are you going to be on there tonight, Josh?
No, they did it earlier, I think, at 5. Well, our time. So I think they did it like an hour after the F1 race. And I was doing practice 7 at the time. The Fast 12 one, so I sadly missed it, but I'm on the Encore show tomorrow with them as well, doing F2 and F3, so I'll be on there. But
that's a good show there, the Encore, because that focuses on the non-major series. That focuses on the feeder series, if you will.
You should come on it.
They did it early this time. They stole the read right out from under Seth.
Howdy, guys.
They did, but you said you should come on. Yeah, well, still waiting for that invite. I mean, but apparently, Grid Network and USRN, the Grid Network has standards. They don't want to invite idiots like me on it.
I don't know. They have me on. To be fair, all the time.
We in our Crown Jewel special show, we did go into a divulge about start times. That's so idiots are plenty when it comes to the Grid Network, I'm afraid.
Seems that way, I'm afraid. We get into great debates there. Matt, were you on when after Abu Dhabi? That was
I was not.
2.5 hours.
Hitting the steering wheel on his broadcast table. He told me he hit it. It was what a difference a month made. He told me he hit it out of joy when Larson won the Cup championship. Then he hit it out of dismay when Verstappen was.
I'll tell you one thing though. We won in the Grid Network an hour after the. No, actually, I'll talk you through it because we've got this little delay. We finished the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on the YouTube channel. Then 20 minutes later, we did a 45-minute review show and went off air not knowing what was going on. Then I went on air with the Grid Network for what was supposed to be a half-hour show. 2.5 hours later, we're still there because we've got this inquiry coming from Mercedes about is Verstappen the champion. So I'm sat there, and I'm stood there with microphones failing left, right, and centre. Everyone of Joe, Kobe, Adam as well, and Ben, all having to fill content. And I couldn't remember if you were there, Matt. That's what I asked.
No, I wasn't.
We're coming up with random things to talk about because they were all waiting on me, who was getting text messages and phone calls from the F1 paddock, from the journalists there, saying, we haven't heard anything yet, nothing's out yet, we don't know what's happened. Apparently they've brought a lawyer in. So we finally found out what was happening, and then we went off air. But it remains to date the most viewed Grid Network show we've had.
And I can see why.
I think it was over 700 on there.
Wow.
I think maybe, yeah.
I don't know what happened yesterday, by the way, with 7,000 viewers on the YouTube stream. That's the highest we've had on that. I think it was because Peacock weren't showing. Well, NBC weren't showing it was on Peacock, and Sky didn't have it for 2 hours, and then it was on tape delay.
They found out Matthew was going to be on, and they wanted the Brickyard Education lesson.
They did, and yeah, Matthew and Megan led the first hour and a half or something, and then I joined after.
Yeah. It's like candy.
I tell you what, Matthew, absolutely no worries that if there's one person who I could trust to deliver an INDYCAR qualifying radio stream on a YouTube, it would be you. After yesterday, never skipped a beat. Absolutely fantastic. I think we've lost him.
I think he's the first person I've ever known. He's getting tired of his compliment, or maybe he went to go take care of something. Who knows? There's always something going on in the neighborhood. I mean, Matt, last week we heard he was screaming at some people to kill.
Oh, gee, yeah, that was some wildness going on outside the Owens household last week.
Let's save him, because let's have more of Chip Ganassi.
We can do it again. Well, their engines have been cooled.
Oh, well, then we just missed it. We just missed it. I'll keep an eye out if there's another one and throw it down as well. Kevin Welch, down to you.
Pato Award, not going to make the Fast 6, but it was close. What more did you need there out of your run to maybe sneak in there?
I was extremely happy with my car, man. I think it's probably the best balance that we've had in qualifying. So yeah, we need to dig into what really happened and why we randomly just lost speed from one day to another, and it's the same on the 7 side. So yeah, we'll look at that. But you know, the guys in the 5 guys did a great job. They gave me a great car, and we kept getting better and better. So I'm really happy, and this is a great position for the race, man. It's so long. It's 500 miles. Yeah, I'm not worried. I think this is a great spot to work from.
Pato's best starting position here at the 500, and he'll roll off next to his teammate on row 3 on Sunday.
Now, guys, that seems to be an example of now, Pato. Please say these nice things about the car and the team and how good your position is, and we'll give you a nice bowl of candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not said too many nice things so far this year, but sounds like whatever, it's not been officially announced, but whatever has been smoothed over down there at between O'Ward and the team from what's been going on at the beginning of the year, and Colton Herter had something to do with that, I'm sure, but even though he's not part of that Aaron McLaren team. So guys in the cars, tweaks going on. We're getting ready to go here for the Fast 6, which will be underway shortly, and I'm guessing, because I'm not sure because I don't have the rules in front of me, we are going to go in reverse order, so it will be Tony Kanaan going first.
We'll find out when they roll out of pit road shortly as well, and they are cooling the engines down as well and get everything ready to get going. I'm just waiting for Matthew to chime in saying that he's back as well. But let's go to the YouTube chat for a second actually as well, because hello to NASCAR 9 says hello to us all out there as well. And Synthel says, this is my first time watching Indy 500 quali, and when I thought I understood how it worked, I am confused again. We all are, because this is a new part of the qualifying format. Usually it's the Fast 9, but then it changed to the Fast 12, and then we go to the Fast 6, so it has changed this year once again. We are in a break, but it's not going to take that long as well, as I think the music's going on in the background. Synthel says, I really love VK. He has a Dutch livery as well. And to all 43 people still watching live and 626 viewers in total on the YouTube chat, hello to everybody. Get in touch because we've got a plethora of knowledge to talk you through it as well. Matthew's back.
So I'm looking at the comment. I wanted to look at the chat at Mixler and YouTube, and I see Josh and Megan got a full-on disclosure of how of the annoying Canadian pissant Red Box yesterday. never gets an opportunity to go to bring politics into a sports conversation. I tell you, no one can do it like him.
Yeah, so we started talking about the French Open, which led to Wimbledon, and he was in thoughts about Wimbledon, and we didn't share the political comments because we don't do that.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Just like Matt Squared, we don't talk about politics. The one rule of the Matt Squared podcast.
That's right.
On the US and a promotion for the USRN YouTube channel.
And Josh,
please do check us out over there.
Josh
for anyone
plays
watching on this side.
Yeah, Josh plays. Get a link in our YouTube chat for that, please, as well, and get that in as well to get subscribed to the USRN guys as well. Because honestly, it's a great country.
Football over here. American football, I should say.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you just turn British with football? I was very impressed.
Hey, there's a Colts chant. Always good to see one of those.
Oh, yes.
When can I ask?
I was.
Oh, Rosenquist, sorry.
Yeah, I don't think we could have been in the top 6 today. I think Pato showed that. We had some issue this morning. We lost a lot of speed and kind of had to go to plan C into qualifying to change all our gears and everything to match the lower speed that we suddenly had. So we still don't know why we lost speed, but we're pretty happy to be P8 instead of P12, I'd say, because that's kind of what it felt like when we when we started a day. But it was a good run, man. I think we did everything we could with our run, and it was honestly pretty gnarly. So good fun. But yeah, third row, you can win from there. So we're good.
Good luck next Sunday, Diff.
Back up to the box. Yeah, back to you, Matthew, because they never tell us when they're coming, do they? These interviews.
There are 8 combined former Indy 500 poles in this past 6, and those 8 have come from 3 different drivers. Scott Dixon is a 4-time pole winner of this race. Ed Carpenter's won it 3 times, and also you have Tony Kanaan, who's won it once back in 2005. So of the 6 drivers here, we have 8 combined past Indy 500 poles between 3 drivers. Obviously no poles in the past for Erickson, VK. And of course VK started on the front row last year and has been the fastest overall, the fastest all weekend.
I'm not sure
He's
how.
got a bit of,
Go on.
He's got a bit of an affinity going on with this place, Matthew, hasn't he? Renus VK won the Indy Grand Prix here last year for his first series win on the front row, as you mentioned, for this race last year, and here he is with a chance again of front row land or pole position this year.
Well, you know, if you like the place right away, that guarantees you success. You got to be nice to it, right, Matthew?
That's right. You have to respect this speedway.
Oh, we got some team radio.
The shift from 5th to 6th sooner, we're getting a little soft limiter there, and then we need to do the downshift a little bit later, and then when you're coming to the checker, we need to grab 6th. Holding 5th was too long.
Okay, James, the best.
Who's on the number 1, guys?
Kanaan, that was
That
being
was the
coached.
radio, yeah.
Because Tony Kanaan needs coaching.
Yeah, well, that was. I heard in there that they were hitting the rev limiter, and that would be a number of guys that have hit the rev limiter this weekend. That means you're fast if you're hitting the rev limiter, but that also means you're cutting some speed out.
Yeah, put it in 5th and just let it go up and up and up and up and up, and then just hold it by as well. Because if you change up to 6th and start finish straight, you're going to lose speed. So I think some of the guys we've been seeing have been holding it in 5th.
So I want to take a quick poll here before we officially get started. They're behind schedule. This was supposed to start 6 minutes ago. But I want to take a quick poll here, guys, of a couple of questions. One, let's go around the room, starting with you, Seth. Who wins poll?
I'm gonna go VK.
Okay, Seth. I just asked Seth. Josh, Seth, tell us your answer again.
Okay.
Josh, who are you picking for poll?
Award.
Okay, Matt.
No, sorry. How can I go award? Sorry, it's
Award's not in the session.
Yeah. My timing screen is showing award top of the board, which is why it's
Yes.
confusing me. So the timing screens are wrong. Sorry about that. VK.
Okay, and Matt. Who are you going with? Roger Penske, crew chief, missing 40.
Okay, God.
I'm going to go with Scott Dixon.
I was about to say I
go
should
with
change
Dixon.
to Dix.
I think I'm going to go Dixon as well, and he would become a 5-time winner of the pole for this race, which is only bettered by Rick Mears, who won it 6 times. And there's a lot of Indianapolis historians that put an asterisk next to that 6th and final pole that he won in 1991, because he was only one of 12 guys that went out on pole day before it rained, and more than 30 guys didn't even have a chance to knock him off.
Okay, here's the 100,000-pound question. Again, I'm working with 2 English people, so I want to throw it. 100,000-pound question. What does the real historian Matthew think? Does he put an asterisk by that or not?
Well, first off, you need to stop that. But no, I don't put an asterisk next to anything that happened at Indianapolis, not even the August race. If you do something good at Indianapolis, you earned it.
Tenths of a mile an hour, and that's the difference here right now is a tiny little lift and maybe a 2 or 3 mile an hour gust of wind. So Marcus is comfortable. We're going to be a little bit aggressive here and see what we can do. And regardless, I think we put on a good show for people, and we'll be starting up front here.
Well, the Ganassi cars have been so consistent.
Yeah, that was the engineer.
I like the sound of that they're going to go aggressive.
All out, guns out.
Mike O'Gara, the Marcus Erickson's engineer. You said, Matt, at the top of the show that records may be broken here and people, once they get into this session, may go for broke. I've got a funny feeling we might see some craziness in the next half hour, 45 minutes.
That's the second question that I was going to ask you guys. Do we see a lap in the 235s?
It's a possibility.
A single lap or a combined?
Single.
A single lap, yes. I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
Especially if we get a qualifying cloud roll in.
Oh, yeah.
Someone might get lucky with a qualifying cloud. We've not talked much about that this week.
And as you heard Mike just say, might get lucky with a gust of wind. 3-4 miles an hour could make a difference in the wind.
I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think we're going to see a 235. I think we're going to see a 236.
Oh,
wow.
Oh boy.
Look at him. Josh go.
Well,
I'm going for
There
it.
goes Josh. Josh, they're letting go of the boat as he pushes it way out.
I think we're going to see a 236. I think these can do it. And wouldn't it be great if we see a 236 with a car that has an aero screen on it? Now that washes away Fernando Alonso's comments that the cars are now too safe and too slow if they're the fastest ever around the Brickyard.
well, we are about to find all of this out because Tony Kanaan has just been released. Again, we're going in order from slowest to fastest of the last round. So Dixon will be the last, Kanaan the first. He won the pole for this race in 2005. Can he possibly win the pole for this race at the age of 47? We talked about him yesterday. Doesn't act like a 47-year-old. He certainly doesn't look like a 47-year-old. He takes his workouts very seriously. He competed on the American show on NBC, American Ninja Warrior. He is a very fit person, but he is 47, Matt, and it would be one amazing accomplishment if he were to win pole at age 47. Maybe Tom Brady could be here to root him on next Sunday.
We've into this scope, aren't we, in sport at the moment, of the old guys coming good. So let's see what TK can do. He will set the benchmark for the other 5 to chase as he heads towards turn 3.
That's it.
We'll be building up here for the green flag on his qualifying run for pole.
Tell you what, there's a cloud. It's come over the circuit. It's darker.
It's definitely more overcast. So we start the day wondering if we would be able to say one historic phrase, the legendary Tom Carnegie. I'll say it this one time, Seth. Tony Kanaan, he's on it.
Yep. And he was 240 going into that first corner there.
Oh. Can he do it? Can he take it over 236? I would love it if he can.
We're all going to lose our mind if he does.
He's
just the end of our broadcast of the race last year was crazy.
He's just been told, don't downshift, don't upshift. Stay in 5th, no matter what.
Yeah, and we heard that radio communication over the two-way radio before the run. Here's lap 1 for Tony Kanaan. 232.996 miles an hour. That's a bit down from what I thought it would be.
We're in KPH now for some reason.
Yeah, that's annoying. The NBC graphics in KPH. They need to get that fixed quick stat.
He went 374. It's a new track.
I didn't know the cars were running at Talladega.
Fastest ever. Oh my God. I nearly jumped when I saw that. I was like, what? That can't be right.
Lap 2 coming to an end for TK then. Let's see how he's getting on. Out of turn 4 he comes. As I said before, setting the benchmark halfway through his run across the stripe now.
222.629 mile an hour, guys. It's averaging out 232.812. So he's still up there. It's not the quickest we've seen. Oh, he hit the rev limiter. Coming out the corner as well. The car was like bum, 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 through turn 2.
That's what they were worried about. Not shifting up to 6th gear. That's what they were worrying about. Wow. It's a very consistent first 2 laps, but I'm not sure if it's going to be quick enough for pole. And they are struggling to get the speeds up on our board here. So here's the white flag for Tony Kanaan. Here it is. Seth, what's lap 3?
232.302 miles an hour. That puts the average at 232.642.
Oof. This isn't good.
I mean,
not the greatest. He's actually trending to be slower than O'Ward, who will start in 7th position, who didn't make it through. So here comes Kanaan then. 2 more corners to go in his last run in qualifying. The next time he'll be back in the car is when they'll be taking the green flag for the race. And here he comes out of turn 4 to complete this run.
All right, Josh, what do we say?
Cross the line. 231.564 as he takes the checkers. 232.372, the average. That's not bad, but that might be the time to start 6th, if we're correct.
Yeah, it isn't bad, but it's not what we thought it would be. So let's see. As
soon as I said what I just said, I realised I was wrong because, of course, we've got Carb Day on Friday, so...
And practice 8 tomorrow.
USRN.
Yeah, I was thinking that because, Matt, we got practice 8 tomorrow as well.
Yeah, Carburation Day on USRN Friday, including the pit stop competition. And again, I'll bring up, who do we have to write to get the Freedom 100 back?
Agreed.
Roger Penske?
Yeah, thirded. Yeah, Roger Penske, exactly. Well, no. Well,
yeah,
yes,
that is...
Indy Lights is under the
right,
Penske court now, so maybe.
All right, Ed Carpenter, 41 years of age, from Indianapolis, driving for the team that he owns. He started on pole for the 500 in 2013, 2014, and 2018. He has started on the front row here 5 times. And there are plenty of fans here to watch this run for the pole, and if Ed Carpenter were to win it, the place would go mad again.
And Matt,
he is out of turn 2 on his warm-up lap.
Yeah, Matthew, I think want to say right now, if he's looking good, you're taking it. I want your words to call the pole.
If there was a roof on this place and he was going well, the roof would be off it. So here comes Ed then. We saw Kanan's run. If Ed can just string this together, he'll certainly beat TK, you would think. Here he comes to start the 4-lap run.
4 laps, 10 miles, 16 left-hand turns for Ed Carpenter, and tickling 241 miles an hour into that first 90-degree turn. Like you mentioned, Seth, purple and blue livery on Carpenter's car this year. He knows how to get around this place. He could only have dreamt when he was a young kid 5 miles away from this speedway to be running here each and every May in front of a crowd of nearly 500,000 people. He's led this field to the green here 3 times. Can he do it again?
Out of turn 4. Oh no, this doesn't look like world's well. He's picking up a little bit of speed. Let's watch.
Yes!
First lap, 233.860 miles an hour on lap 1 for Ed Carpenter.
Well, he has set the marker, as if to say, Matt, Ed Carpenter has just declared it's time to drop the hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. And you knew if he got to this far in this qualifying routine schedule, whatever you want to call it, that he'd have a shot. And here he is calling it up towards the line to complete the halfway lap. The lap count is a 233.228, so it's a smidge down, but it's a good average, 233.544, trending for provisional pole position for Ed Carpenter.
His 4-lap average yesterday was 232.3, so he is well over a mile an hour faster than that mark halfway through this run. But he's got to survive it, Josh, as he goes through turn 3, heading to 4.
Now, turn 4 is always a tricky one here at the Brickyard. It's win it or bin it. Out of it, brace the wall, gets it through. Lap 3, what's the average going to come out at? Cross the line, white flag in the air. It's 233.187. The average is still there. 233.425. He's a whole mile an hour faster than what Canal managed.
Well, it's an extremely consistent run, but this might be the most consistent fast run we've seen. We talked about it yesterday. The most consistent runs we've seen yesterday were kind of mediocre. This is fast, and it is consistent. One more turn for Ed Carpenter on his run for pole at Indianapolis. He sweeps out of turn 4, heads down the 5/8 of a mile long front straightaway. Checkered flag is out. Is this in the 233s as well? No, 232.053. He is averaged at 233.0. Ed Carpenter is on the provisional pole.
Now, if that... Yeah, go on, Matt.
lost a lot there on that last lap. It looked like he was going to be trending into the VK area of time to begin that run after Renus's run yesterday, but yeah, just slipped away there at the end.
They're all happy about it down in pit road. If that was the provisional pole time as well, it's not going to be the fastest we've seen this week as well in the practice sessions. So we need some wind down there. Do you want to hear from Canal?
Yes.
To fix it, so a big effort from the team. I got to thank the Legion. I got to thank Chip for this opportunity. We're a one-off, but with a big team and awesome teammates. So a great effort from the team to put all the cars in the top 12 and 4 cars in the Fast 6. So I'm pretty happy.
Well done.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, Marcus Erickson is next. And it's got to be said, Matt, for a guy that I don't think anyone would really think about as a big oval guy. He had 2 wins last year, both on street courses. Let's not forget Marcus Erickson finished on the podium at Texas earlier this year, and here he is with a shot at the Indianapolis 500 pole.
Yeah, he's just brought himself up nicely, hasn't he, since he came over from F1. It's been a couple of years now, but progression all the way through the last couple of years. And as you said, a couple of wins last year, great run at Texas a couple of months ago. Ganassi have brought the power this week, and here he is with a chance at the pole position run.
Green flag for Marcus Erickson. And Josh,
yes,
let's walk him through that one.
Looking good through the first couple of corners. He was averaging at over 240 miles an hour through that first corner. It's averaged out down the back straightaway. Look at that. 234, 235, 236, flicking up. 237 I saw before he started turning into the third banking corner as well. Into turn 4, down to the line as well. It's not looking happy. Down there towards the wall, Matthew.
Might not be looking great, but it might be fast. That was the fastest warm-up lap that we have seen in this session. And that's a terrific lap. 233.257 miles an hour. That's a terrific lap from Marcus Erickson. Can he hold it? Can he hold it, Seth? 14 left-hand turns to make.
Well, again, he's consistently fast, staying at 234 down that back stretch, heading into turn 3 at 236, just like the last lap. He's working through the short chute again, still at 230 plus. I don't think he's gotten out at 230 yet. Holy cow, this is going to be an amazing lap. Second lap, Matthew, let's see.
Oh.
232.768.
That's dropped in behind Carpenter.
Yeah, quite a bit of drop-off there, Matt. Let's walk him through the third lap as he'll come to see the white flag.
If he has a chance of getting on the front row, he'll need to just pick this up a little bit on this second half of this run. As Josh said, he would slide into second position as it stands. He was high in turn 3 on the first lap. I thought he was going to end up in the wall, but since then, he's kind of calmed it down. The speed is there. Out of 4 he comes and towards the white flag.
And let's see, what's the time?
The time is for lap 3 for Marcus Erickson, 232.490. So the slide has continued. The average is down to 232.838. Still on course for second as it stands in turn 2 for the final time.
Well, nonetheless, he's going to start on the first 2 rows, which is an amazing achievement for this guy who started in this race 9th a year ago. He's going to better that by a number of positions. He was 11th in the race. Marcus Erickson out of turn 3 into turn 4. Josh, let's take him to the checkered flag.
Now, is this going to be the fastest? No. Is this going to be a front row fastest? Maybe. Halfway down in the fast 6, and Erickson's time, 232.543 on lap 4. Average is out, Matthew. 232.764. So at the halfway stage, it's one of them who could start on the front row. We'll find out next who it is.
And the next runner will be Alex Palou. We just seen a Ganassi. We've seen one with Canal as well. We'll see 2 more with Palou and Dixon.
Solid run that for Erickson, as you said, but not quite enough potentially to get on the front row. But he's got 2 of his teammates that will knock him off here. And it's the reigning series champion next on the racetrack. 2 laps of warm-up, and then the green flag will be shown to the number 10 car.
So, guys, here we go then into the top 3 that have been all there throughout both days of qualifying. We've got some cloud above, as well. We've got some wind picking up at turn 4. This is going to be some of the fastest times we're going to see before the 500 starts, isn't it?
Well, that's certainly the anticipation and the hope. We'll just sit here and find out.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's got a qualifying cloud or not.
He's going.
Yeah, that's
It's 228 down the back straightaway, so he's building up that speed before he takes the green flag. But he's only in 4th gear and not full throttle yet. He's lifting just a little bit.
He'll put it into full boost mode here, and then he'll be up to full speed by the time he comes across the line.
Right thumb takes that button, doesn't it? And there we go.
All right, green flag out for Spain's Alex Palou. We have started front row bumping now, and Alex Palou sends the car through into turn.
It's looking good, doesn't it? Palou heads down towards the 3rd corner, drifts it in. He's a little bit high, gets below that white line as well, and so close to the wall at the exit of 3 before 4. Thought he was going to whack it into the wall.
Alex Palou, the reigning series champion. Lap 1 complete as he crosses the yard of bricks. Oh, 234.048 miles an hour. He has come to play for pole position.
Well, yeah. Knock, knock, knock. Yeah, this pole position. And, of course, big haul of points coming as well if he does take it. And that'll help his championship big time as well. After what hasn't been an easy start for some races as well. But here's a winner this year.
All right, Matt, lap 2.
Here he comes. Second in the race last year, the series champion. Crosses the line at the end of lap 2. It's a 233.698. So he's lost 0.3.4 on the second lap. 233.873 is the average. Still plenty of margin if he can keep this up to get ahead of Ed Carpenter and guarantee himself a spot on the front row.
Oh, this young man is so exciting to watch, and he's so clean. He is just so pin perfect in just about everything he does. He was so calm, cool, and collected on the run to the championship last year. All right, Josh, he is trending for a possible pole. Here's the white flag. What's lap 3?
Lap 3 then was pitch perfect, and it is a 233.304. Average is still there, 233.683. He's dancing with it now. Carpenter's getting worried. We're all getting worried. Is this going to be the pole time as they head down the back straightaway towards turn 3 and 4, Matthew?
All right, to the north end of the speedway, Seth Eves will take him to the checkered flag. Alex Palou from Spain, second in the race a year ago. Is he about to become the next young Indy 500 pole winner?
In 5th gear, almost 1,200 RPMs, 236 goes way down to the bottom again. A little arrow. Let's see what he did. 232.950, a 4-lap average of 233.499 miles an hour. That's good for number 1.
But is it the quickest? That's the question. Can Dixon and VK, the two fastest guys, go quicker?
And this
is absolutely right.
And just for confirmation, this is it. This is the one run for everyone. There is no other runs. This is it. The only run for pole. So Palou has it. Canal has been knocked off of the front row. Palou has secured himself a front row spot.
This is Carpenter.
And the most exciting driver to watch so far this month is Rinus VK's coming up. Let's hear from Ed real quick.
First run, cool temps on the engine. Lost a little bit there. I don't know that we could really trim more, though. The thing's on the limit. Just, fourth lap wasn't good enough.
Cleaned it up very solid in the top 6, Dylan.
And Marcus Erickson sits third right now.
Oh, that's Erickson.
Let's go out. How would you evaluate your lap?
I think my run was good. I think we were maybe a bit conservative, or I don't know why we were that much lower compared to the Fast 12 run, because I had a mistake there on quite a big lift in turn 1 in the Fast 12 try. and now it was a better run driving-wise, but it was just, you know, obviously these overcasts is a bit different conditions, but I was hoping and thinking it was a bit faster than that, but still it's a great, you know, great performance all week, and we're going to start from a really, really good spot next weekend.
Yeah, regardless.
Okay, here we go. VK's about to take the green. It's now or never, guys.
So here we go then.
Sorry about that, Matt. In my mind, your thoughts on this? If there was a driver in a team that would maybe take the biggest risk of taking downforce out to go for the pole, I would reckon it's this team, the 21 team. Green flag.
Yeah, absolutely. VK turn one on his first lap. So we've got then Palou on pole, but the third fastest man ever around this racetrack on the racetrack now, and coming up next, the fifth fastest man ever around this racetrack, and he set that all of an hour ago to go for pole position. VK down the back straightaway, 2:36.7 as he peels into turn number 3. Looking pretty stout though, and this is a good start to his lap. Through turn 4 he comes, up high towards the wall, gives it a bit of a breathe, up and across the line. The VK contingent down there in the pit lane watch on across the stripe.
Oh, hello.
And the lap time is, when it comes up on the screen, I'll finally tell you. Go on, guys, if you see it already, 2:33.746, the lap one time for Rinus VK.
He's come to play.
Wow. Yeah, and it's interesting, too, because remember that first lap for Palou was 2:34, and it gradually fell off. There was a fall off of 1.2 miles an hour from lap 1 to 4 for Palou. So we'll see if VK can consistently run in these high 2:33s. What do we think, Seth? Lap 2.
Lap 2, he's 2:39 on the speed chart heading in. 2:33.403 on the second lap.
Close.
The average speed, 2:33.575.
That's insanely
Is
close
he
as
going to
well.
be on the front row for a second straight year? Yeah, it's going to be so close. Him and Palou for pole. Scott Dixon, the only car left to run. Rinus VK in turn 3. The Bitcoin sponsored number 21 for Ed Carpenter Racing. Here he is in turn 4. 2 wheels below the white line. He is facing the white silk this time. Is he in the 2:33s again? White flag down on Rinus VK.
Yes,
2.5 miles to go. 2:33.224, but his average has dropped below Palou by 4/100ths of a mile an hour. He's on his last lap down the back straightaway, Josh.
So is this going to be provisional pole? Can he gain any sort of mile-an-hour speed back? He's going to have to really bolt it out of turn 4 and hope he can drag the speed around this 2.5-mile oval as well. I don't think he's going to do it. I think it's going to be Palou who might just have it. To the line then. Is this going to be anywhere near? Is it even a front row start for VK? Takes the line. It's lap 4. 2:33.167, VK second. 2:23.385 is the average. VK will start on the front row for the 500, but it won't be in pole position. It's currently P2, but that's now confirmed the front row of at least Palou and VK. Matthew.
Here comes the 4-time pole winner. Scott Dixon. One Ganassi car will be on the pole. The other will be in the middle of the front row. But which Ganassi car will it be, Matt? Will it be the 25-year-old reigning series champion, or will it be the guy that's 16 years his senior and has won the championship 6 times?
Yeah, as I said before, the fifth fastest man ever now around this speedway on a 4-lap average, going for his 5th pole. You talked about it in the qualifying show yesterday. He's only ever won this race once. He's got a chance of leading the most laps ever on total tomorrow, next week, when we get to the race. Can he put himself in position to win it again? We're about to find out which of the 9 or 10 Chip Ganassi cars will be on the pole position.
Well, we are less than 3 minutes away from finding out who will start on pole for the 106th running of the Indianapolis 500. To the point that Matt just made, Scott Dixon is a guy that has always run at the front at Indianapolis. He's led 570 laps in his Indianapolis 500 career. It's 3rd most all time. Green flag is out for Scott Dixon. His run for the pole is underway. If he leads next Sunday, if he were to lead over 75 laps, he will become the all-time Indy 500 lap leader. But to the point that Matt made, and to the point that Scott said about himself, he needs another win in the 500. He's a 6-time champion. He's led almost more laps than anyone else has in the race. But Seth Eves, he wants another part of that Borg Warner trophy to adorn his likeness. Here's the end of lap 1 for Scott Dixon.
Yeah, let's see. We hit the line. 240.
Oh!
Wow! 234.437. Emma's going ballistic, and so are we.
He is a mile an hour faster at the end of his first lap. And look, Palou knows it. This is
Designed.
Dixon's. Yeah, this is Dixon's. Hands down, Dixon's.
He's got to keep it together. He's not even halfway through this run yet. Let's get him around to the end of lap 2. Emma could climb over the wall. She's that close to the end of pit lane to cheer on her husband. Here he comes out of turn number 4 and up to the line of bricks to go across for the halfway run. Emma with a punch in the air. 234 again.
Wow.
234.162 for Scott Dixon.
Look at Emma. She is jumping. The photos are going. Her mother is there as well.
Can't contain herself.
We can't. I'm jumping up and down in the commentary box like nothing. This is fantastic. Down the back straight away.
Help.
I need medical attention at the end of this one. The last runner's going to take it. He's super smooth round turn 3. Can he take it then? What's the third lap average? I'm not going to call this. At the lap 4, I'm going to give it to Matthew in a minute. Lap 3 then for Dixon. White flag. It's 233.8. The average is 234.1. He's got provisional pole, Matthew. And my goodness me, you, the voice of Indy, take us to the line.
Down the back straightaway. Rex Mays, AJ Foyt, Elio Castroneves, Scott Dixon, and Rick Mears, the only drivers to have won the Indy 500 pole 4 times or more. Mears won it 6 times. Rex Mays last won it in 1948. That was his 4th. Foyt's last was 1975. Castroneves last won it in 2010 for his 4th. Scott Dixon is about to win pole for the Indy 500 for a 5th time and a 2nd straight year. Did he do it? Yes, he did! With an average of 234.046 miles an hour. Scott Dixon has won the pole for the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
I can't believe it! 234.046 miles an hour, and he's done it! Scott Dixon will line up as pole position sitter for the 106th running of the Indy 500, and he loves it! I would love to hear his team radio right now. He would be screaming. It's like he would have won the race itself once again. You said it earlier on, guys. He wants another bit of that trophy. He might just feel like he's won it already. Look at that. The family are delighted. The team are delighted. He's delighted. It's a Chim Ganassi 1-2. Ed Carpenter 3-4. Ganassi 5-6. Wow.
And I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. Matt, Seth, Josh, the dream season. 1 drive for 5 is complete. There's another drive for 5 in 7 days.
My heart's gone. My heart is gone. I cannot believe it. Synthel says in the chat, wow, what a lap. Is that a record? No. Fastest ever lap here. What was it, Matthew? 2:36? Is the fastest ever lap we've had here?
Yep.
That's,
but
that goes
that
second.
is the second fastest 4-lap qualifying run in history. It eclipses Scott Brayton's run of 2:33.7, which won him the pole in 1996. You have just been witness to the second fastest run in Indy 500 time trial history.
And not so long ago, it's now the 6th fastest run. So he's got the 2nd and 6th fastest 4-lap average runs in Indy qualification history in the last hour and a half. Absolutely
Let's hear
incredible.
this reaction, Josh. Let's hear this reaction. The crowd's going wild.
He's taking his gloves off.
Just incredible what we witnessed, Lee.
Kiss as well.
Wife Emma in with a kiss. One of the greatest pole runs in the history of the Indianapolis 500. The 2nd fastest ever, Scott. We saw your nerves after the run in the Firestone Fast 12. How were the nerves on that run?
Oh, that's what this place is about. It's so amazing. Like the ups and downs that you have just in one day is crazy. Massive thank you to all the fans for coming out. It's so good to see everybody here in the grandstands. Thank you so much to the team, PNC Bank number 9 crew and Honda. They brought it today. Just so happy for everybody. You know, to get 5 of our cars into the Fast 12 and then 4 into the 6. I hope Chip's got a smile on his face. I haven't seen him yet, but that definitely deserves a smile.
How about this team, Scott? It has not been the best of weeks for this team in the 9 organization. Somehow you pulled it together. How did you guys pull it together, in all honesty, today?
Hard work, man. Hard work and people. That's what it takes. You know, I'm one of the lucky guys, part of this team that gets to drive it and gets to take it across the line. But the amount of effort that goes in, you know, back at the shop and through HPD and Honda, the speed that they bring, and obviously, you know, all the drivers, you know, huge thanks to all my teammates. We've worked really hard to put this team together and try and get the most of it. This is stage 1. Obviously, it doesn't mean nothing come next Sunday, so we're starting in the right spot. We haven't had a good record of keeping it in the right spot, but we'll definitely be trying come next Sunday.
You mentioned that. I think folks could argue you've had the best car in the last 2 Indy 500s and no wins to show for it. Some unfinished business next Sunday for you?
Always unfinished business here. You know, I love this place. It's definitely can be cruel at sometimes, but, you know, I feel very privileged and very lucky to be able to drive here. And obviously with a team like this, you know, it makes it, you know, so sweet. So, I don't know. Let's go. Let's see, man.
Congratulations. You got a lot of guys over there that want to celebrate with you. Scott Dixon, what an impressive day for him and this entire Ganassi organization.
And Emma is kissing everybody down there, isn't she? She's delighted with that.
Like Richard Dawson down there.
Yeah.
Here's another stat for you guys. The fastest ever front row record has also gone with that. 233.643 miles an hour is now the fast average for a front row, beating 96. The ongoing discussion of whether Scott Dixon should be on your Mount Rushmore, I'm sorry, the book has just been closed.
Yeah. Get it on.
Ralph De Palma, Rex Mays, Eddie Sachs, Parnelli Jones, Mario Andretti, AJ Foyt, Tom Sneva, Rick Mears, Scott Brayton, Elio Castroneves, Ed Carpenter, and now Scott Dixon, the only 12 men on planet Earth to have won the pole for the Indianapolis 500 in back-to-back years. And the only ones to do it 5 or more times, Scott Dixon, Rick Mears, period, end of sentence.
Jeez.
It was much easier, didn't it? Just hit that.
This Ganassi picture.
What a shot.
Whiz. You think he likes winners? I think he likes fast qualifiers.
So, Jim Ganassi start. Go on, Seth.
I'm sorry. You saw the reaction from Emma and Emily. That's what it means just to win the pole at this play.
Yeah. There's someone else that's part of that team that's just shown up. It's a bit of a legend as well.
Yes.
There is
Dario.
Quite like the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Oh, there's nothing else like it.
Was that a
there
kiss
is
from
nothing
Dario?
else like it.
Did Dario give him a kiss? Like he did, didn't he? I need to get myself down to Pit Road as well. They're giving out free kisses as well, especially after COVID as well. Everyone deserves a bit of a hug and a kiss. Anyway, so we've got Dixon and Palou front row for Chip Ganassi. Then it's Erickson and Canal on the second row for Chip Ganassi. Further down on the order as well, we've got Jimmy Johnson starting 12th on the grid as well. That's insane. As Johnson could have had it as well if he didn't touch the wall.
Jimmy saved his car from a wreck too, so great day for Ganassi.
Yeah. 2 by 2 in terms of teams all the way through the top 8.
Yeah.
If you include the Arrow guys. They
of
didn't
course.
Make this Fast 6 runoff. 7th and 8th for them.
We have run the Indianapolis 500 105 times previously. 20% of those times, the pole sitter has won the race. 21 of 105. The last one to do that was Simon Pagenaud in 2019. The race has been won from the front row 45 times, or roughly 43%. It's been won from a top 12 starting position 80 times, or roughly 76%. The last time a driver that started outside the top 12 won the race was in 2015, when Pablo Montoya started 15th. So there's been 6 straight 500s that's been won from a starting spot in the top 12. So we brought you 12 drivers qualifying runs today. The odds would say one of those 12 will be the winner and will be the face on the Borg Warner Trophy 7 days from now.
And my money is now firmly on Scott Dixon to do it.
But I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. And Matt, I think you're the perfect guy to talk about with this, because you are a big fan of Dixon. We're all big fans of Dixon, but you're a big fan of Dixon. How many times have we sat here a week away, 5 days away, a day before the Indianapolis 500 and said, yep, all my chips are in the center of the table on Scott Dixon, and it hasn't happened but the one time.
Yeah, absolutely, especially over the last few years where he may not have got the pole for whatever reason, but you could tell, well, they had a proper good race car under them, and for acts of huge accidents and other various things, it just hasn't gone his way. And this year hasn't gone his way. He's been nowhere for the first 5 or 6 races of the season, but never count out the Iceman. Things you can't escape: death, taxes, and Scott Dixon.
Well, you know, my money I think is on the redemption story of Alex Palou here, personally.
Yeah, that would be something.
Yeah. It'll probably end up with Johnson.
My money is on Elio Castroneves.
Oh.
He'll be starting from row 9.
How many times that from that starting position has been won?
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned
it. Here we go.
I'm so
gonna have it as we're watching live F1 highlights. Fernando Alonso.
Yes. Well, someone must have pushed the red button.
Thank you.
No, I've left it on. It's what's on Sky. I'm seeing it as well in the TV pictures. It's live.
But
I
mentioned it's all been about the Drive for 5, hasn't it? We started this dream season. We've been talking about the Drive for 5 for Elio Castroneves. Well, Scott Dixon just completed his Drive for 5 Indianapolis 500 poles. Elio Castroneves, if he is going to win the Indianapolis 500, will have to do it from the 27th starting spot. It has only been done once before.
And do you want me to throw a spanner into the works? Long-range weather forecast is now predicting rain, so we might not even get it.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
No,
oh,
it
mine is.
Bert. Come on.
Oh, hang on. Maybe I should turn it off of Grimsby and turn it to Indianapolis. That might help. Yeah, you're right. It's cloudy, but 31 degrees. So, yeah, ignore me. Maybe I should turn it off my location and go to Indianapolis. It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
Help. Anyway, who was? I'm not trying to say I'm being serious. Who was the driver who won from that starting spot?
Fred Frame in 1932.
We've just had lights out here in Spain. Look.
Who does anybody's ever come to win?
28th. Fred Frame in 1932. It's a marvelous story. If you have time to look up what happened in the 1932 Indy 500.
We've got time now if you want to say it.
But Fred Frame, started 27th. He's the only driver to have won the 500 from the 27th starting position. And Elio Castroneves, I mean, why not, right? Why can't it happen?
It's Indy. Everything's unpredictable. I don't know where else to go. I reckon, we could see one of the greatest 500s we've ever had next week because, I don't know, it's all shaping up. This week has been so weird. We've had no crashes. Everyone's got great running by that one day where it rained out, but no crashes. Everyone's made it through. All 33 cars starting, no bumps. It's a weird 500. It's like somebody has got their hand on it to try to manipulate it into being one of the best we've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's being shaped. It's like that scene in Ghosts. They're shaping the vase now.
Well, and one thing that I've learned is when here at Indianapolis, you go a long time without accidents. Be ready for the dam to be broken.
Yes.
I was just about to say, let's not hope that they all come at once next Sunday. But if we don't, we could potentially be on for a fast.
Caution free, yeah. Fast as ever, to tell off your sentence, because we lost you there.
Fastest ever was, of course, last year.
Yeah, last year only had one caution, correct me?
Yeah, we had 2 yellows, didn't we?
Oh,
We
two,
had
two.
Stephen Wilson crash in the pit lane and Graham Rahal crash
Rahal.
coming out of the pit lane.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, last year, did you say it was the fastest ever Indy 500 completed?
Yep, sure was.
3 hours, something.
I think it was actually less than 3 hours.
Was it less
actually.
than 3? Felt longer.
And by the way, just to answer your question
Is
from
it a
earlier,
noon
Seth.
start next week, Matthew?
What was that?
Is it a noon start next week?
I don't know the exact green flag time because I think NBC's messing with it again.
Yeah, I know. I'll double check because if it tells me here, I'm sure we can convert it to your time over there. My time, it's 5:30 green flag time. That's 5:30 p.m., which would be for you
11.
half past
12:30.
Yeah, 12:30, half past 11. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's about what time it was last year. You never know with NBC these days. By the way, I didn't forget about you, Seth, and I didn't forget about the question that you asked. The farthest back someone has started to win the race was 28th, so 1 spot below 27th. 28th, that was done twice. It was actually done in the very first race, won by Ray Haroon in 1911, and then Louis Meyer in 1936.
Nice
How's the
question.
buttermilk man?
Yes, that's right.
Why did they stop buttermilk a couple of years back? I know whole milks. Yeah.
No one likes buttermilk.
All right then.
Well, Josh, I tell you what. If you want a buttermilk comeback, then you need Fred Carpenter to win next week.
Yeah,
I do.
right.
I do. Just quickly then.
He'll drink. That's why he'll drink.
Me and Matthew said yesterday about the milks that we'll be having on the day. Matt, Seth, what milk will you be having? Will it be whole milk, 2%? And for you, Matt, obviously, would it be skimmed, semi-skimmed?
2% easily. 2% easy.
2% for Seth. Matt?
Definitely green top, semi-skimmed for me.
Ditto. Yeah, ditto.
Oh, yeah.
That would be 2%,
Yeah,
wouldn't
skim,
it?
yeah.
Skimmed, yeah. Skimmed for us, yeah. Semi-skimmed, isn't it, for us over here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are you going for, Matthew?
Definitely skim. Love skim.
Yeah. Right, on the YouTube, we're going to disappear because we've gone over our 2-hour time slot. But I know in US Running can stick around, so I'm going to come up to the main camera if I press button 4 for a sec. I want to ask you all a question because I know we're staying on USRN. Matthew, first of all, pick a winner. Go on.
Oh, Helio Castroneves.
Okay. Matt?
I have been saying that it's going to happen, and then I think I've been saying it 10 times a day since he won the Rolex.
But Matthew, Matthew, why did you tell me after Duke in North Carolina you weren't believing in that crap anymore?
Yeah, I know.
Matt,
but see what happens. See what we humans say in the heat of battle. Go on, Matt.
Matt, go on.
Oh God.
As much as it pains me to say it, I think Rinus VeeKay could win this race.
Oh wow. Wow. Go on.
Against all the might of Chip Ganassi at the front.
Seth?
I was hearing. What's your deal with Rinus VeeKay?
Oh, nothing against Rinus at all.
I'm staying out of that. I'll go. Go on, Seth. Oh, we lost you, Seth. There we go. Can hear you.
I think I'm going. This could change. I think I'm going Pillow.
Oh.
Well.
We need to see what Friday looks like, don't we, really? With
Yes, carb day.
We'll practice on Friday. That's going to be important.
Early pick, Marcus Erickson.
Oh,
wow.
To do it.
Bold, but I'm going for it. Bold, but I'm going for it. Right, on YouTube, my thanks to Matthew Owens, my thanks to Seth Evers, and my thanks to Matt White as well. My thanks to all 873 who've tuned in. Go on. Seth?
What did you call me, Seth Evans?
Evers. Evers.
It's E. Yeah, Evans.
I said it. It's my Anglo-Saxon. Right, my thanks that they're staying on USRN. That'll be on the Mixler app, so they're staying there. But here on YouTube, we're done. We'll be back with the highlights of the practice sessions throughout the week as well. Monaco's next up on the YouTube. Join us for that on Friday. And from us all here, all 4 of us, thanks for your company. We'll see you later.